Everybody, welcome to day number 3 of Google+. Today we're going to be focusing on communities. We have a little bit of background noise here. They're working on the air conditioning because in the last 2 days, when it gets to be about, what, 2 o'clock? Yeah. At 2 o'clock, the air conditioner goes out and it starts blowing hot air in, and it's been, what, 103, 105?
Yeah.
About 107 yesterday, so and our classroom here is pretty small. So they're working on it today, and there's some background noise. And we're going to try it again, Crystal.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to try what we did the last 2 days again. Before that, I want to talk about some housekeeping stuff. Tomorrow, we will have another guest speaker. And his name is Sterling McPherson. Sterling McPherson is a former middleweight fighter back in the 80s. When he retired from boxing, he went to work for Don King for about 10 years. And so he learned that business. He's good friends with Mike Tyson. He went to China with Mike Tyson. And just coincidentally, or this is a little fact that everybody might want to know, who is the best known athlete in the world?
Jim Thorpe.
Muhammad Ali.
Go anywhere in the world and they know who you are.
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali is the best known athlete in the world. There isn't a place in the world you can go and not know who Muhammad Ali. Who is number 2?
Jim Thorpe. Michael Jordan.
Nope. Mike Tyson.
Really?
Mike Tyson is the second best known athlete. Maybe. You got to ask Sterling tomorrow. So Sterling McPherson worked with Don King when Mike Tyson was with Don King. I think everybody knows Mike Tyson lives here in Las Vegas. Sterling lives here in Las Vegas. Sterling is from the middle of Ohio. I think it might be Columbus, Ohio.
Youngstown.
He's from Youngstown. Yeah, he's from Youngstown.
Yay.
Okay, so he's going to talk about success, the road to success. And so it should be a lot of fun, and I encourage people to do a Google search on him and feel free to ask questions because when you're talking, it's always a lot better when there are people who are interacting. So, so that's the housekeeping things. Unless anybody has any housekeeping stuff in California, what we're going to try to do again is have the video embedded in the Hangout, but you're watching it in California independently, and so are we. Right?
Yep.
Okay. Great. So we're going to turn the microphone off here, and we'll see you in, I think it's about 10 minutes. Okay?
Okay.
So, well, before we do that, let me just give a thing. Today we're talking Google+, and we're focusing on communities. The easiest way to think about a community is to think of a website. A community is sort of like a website. It's not a website, but it's like a website in that it has a lot of different things you can do when you get there. So on a website, it has different pages. You have pictures, you can have videos, you can have a lot of stuff, documents, and on Google Communities you can do the same thing. But a community is like a circle also in that you open up admission to the community to select people, and it's about a specific thing. That's what a community is. So we're going to talk about communities today, and this Google video is about that. Okay? So now, take 2. Unless there's anything else, we'll switch over to that. Everybody here, please go to Google+ on your computers.
June 11th, 1 guest invited.
Okay, so, Richard, would you get the volume, please?
Will you get the light director?
Yes.
Today, guest invited.
Today's So we watching on our computers on the screen?
No, we're going to watch it on the screen.
No, hold on. Hit on the word, just Google it.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel for a lot more handy hints, tips, and tricks.
Okay, Crystal, are you back?
Yes.
Good. Okay, does anybody have any comments about that video?
I thought it was very informative.
Okay. Jamie thought it was informative. How about there in California?
Wonderful.
Who was that? Victoria?
Phyllis.
Phyllis?
Phyllis.
Okay, good. Well, good. So we have a new person who's going to volunteer to speak. I'm going to have to get a seating chart, Crystal. Could you send me one for there so I can call on people? Okay. So that was pretty good. He's a different way of doing it than Anton or Anson Alexander. I forgot his name already. It's been 3 days.
I thought he was very good on how he showed you how to do everything.
Yeah, he's good on that. Yesterday, you know, the difference was the woman actually does it. She was showing how she does her thing instead of teaching you. But this is a good video to do it, and I encourage everybody to create a community of their own. It could be a family community. What are the kinds of things that you'd have in a family community? So one area would be called documents. So you create a section on the site called documents. And if you have kids, what kind of documents might you want in there?
Birth certificates.
Yeah, you might want to have scanned documents of all of their important stuff, their birth certificates, their medical records,
Security card.
Social Security card, all of those things that you need to have. Copies of your driver's license, you know, scan all that stuff if you can. It's private. This is a private community.
Okay, good. That's
People can hack it all the time.
No, people can't hack it.
You put it on private.
You can't
community,
hack
you
it
don't
all
put
the time.
public.
Yes,
And then
that would
if
be
you
a
do
private
that,
community.
would it come up on all your Google Plus stuff?
You don't know
What do you
you're
mean?
doing it, bro.
You know, the main thing you talked
Well, it
about?
would be inside of your community.
So you'd have to click it on to get it.
So let me go back to where he started and where I started in today's notes. There are two types of communities, private and public. Right. Now, a lot of people get concerned that private doesn't mean private.
True, don't.
Okay? No, it does. It does mean private. Now, first level of privacy is your own password to get onto Google, because you have one password for Google, right? If you don't have a good password or somebody gets your password, they have access to everything. What's the simple solution to that?
Don't put it on.
No,
Don't give out your password.
that's the hard solution.
Letters and numbers.
Yeah, have a password that is easy to remember but hard to guess.
And it says 4, find a different one.
Huh?
And it says 4.
Yeah, yeah. So the first thing is, if it's private, you can have confidence it's private. Now, there's 2 levels of privacy again. Well, let's say 3. There's one, somebody gets your password. Okay, on that if they get it, that's an ID10T error, which means what? You're an idiot.
You can
Right.
write that.
Okay, so for those who are not sure what an ID10T error is, write it down on your paper and then read it. Okay? Most errors are ID10T errors. ID10T and
Oh, okay.
okay. So that is an ID10T error.
So I just made me a community.
Okay. Most errors are ID10T errors. Okay. The simple solution to avoid that is have a password that's easy for you to remember but hard for somebody to guess.
That's a good one.
Well, I just created a private community, didn't ask for a password.
Because you have a Google password.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Your password, okay, so Scott here brought up he didn't need a password to create a community. He forgot that he needed a password to get onto Google.
Okay, so
Now, a
my
lot of
password-
people, in fact, my hunch would be most people in here have their computer set up So once they go to the internet, it automatically logs them in. They don't have to put their password in.
Just said right here, your private community.
Okay. So I don't ever do that, and I encourage you, don't have your computer remember your passwords, especially if you're somebody who's concerned that somebody's going to get your information. Always remember your password and put your password in. Don't do the shortcut.
Okay.
Okay? So the second layer of protection is somebody hacking in. Okay? And hacking into Google servers and getting passwords. You should not be concerned about that. Okay. The type of passwords or the type of places people hack into is where there is money involved, like banks, credit cards, store accounts, things where there's money involved. Hackers really aren't interested in reading your email. Okay? They're not really interested in what you say in emails to your friends. They are interested in financial information. Companies like Google spend a lot of money, hundreds of millions of dollars a year in security to prevent people from hacking into their servers.
Like what happened to Target.
Okay, right. And you will not hear in the news, I don't think ever, but certainly in the last 5 years, that Google servers were compromised, that anybody hacked in.
Even hush-hush, yes.
Well, it's not about keeping it hush-hush. They wouldn't be able to keep it hush-hush because they got to tell everybody to change your password. They have to notify. 1 second. The third layer is somebody inside Google deciding they're going to cooperate with outside people. Again, Google goes to great steps to prevent that from happening. So my point is, you don't really need to worry about James Bond wanting to get into your stuff. Okay? Okay. Do not be concerned about if it says private, whether it really is private. If Google was not secure, nobody would use Google. Google would be out of business now. So just accept that private means private. So if you have a private community, which is your family, you should have a section on there. You can have a section on there that is public records or personal records, or that kind of stuff, where you have social security cards, driver's licenses, insurance cards, copies of everything there. So in case you get mugged, robbed, your house burns down, you're on an airplane flight, you leave the country, and your stuff is stolen, or the plane burns up and you're the only person that survives, guess what? If you can get to the internet, you have all of your information. Another thing to have, if you have a family community, would be a calendar. And you would link your family calendar that we talked about last week or the week before. You have your calendar into your community. So as soon as you go in the community, boom, the calendar's there. You can see when your kids have games, or you got to talk to the teacher, or whatever it is that is in your community. You might want to have a section called school, and that's where you have all of your kids' report cards or any of the papers they do. You scan them, they draw pictures, paintings, whatever they do. You take a picture of it or you scan it, and then you put it in the community, and it's just a great way to keep records of stuff, of important stuff you're going to want to get. And private communities should be thought of more like a library. It's like a virtual library for your family, or a repository of important information. It's the one place that you go that you know you have all of the stuff you need for your family there. Okay? Now, how about its work? Let's say it's for Francisco's company. Let's say it's for Francisco's Coffee Company. What would you want to have there in this community? It's for your employees. Okay, so you might want to have a section for recipes, schedules. How about your employee manual, payroll information? You could do that. But this would be available for all employees. So this is a community that's for all of your employees. What in California, what would you have on there?
Vendors.
Vendors, you could have a thing of vendors. And so if you think about it as your central repository of all knowledge and information for the company, okay, that you want everybody to have access to. Communities are great ways to do it. Now you might say, well, we could have an intranet site, which is a private website. The problem with that is what? What's the problem of having it on a website or an intranet?
Cost money?
No,
Okay, everyone.
it's not money, but there is a little bit of money involved.
Every time you.
Okay, no, it takes up space, but that's not the reason you wouldn't want to have an intranet or a website do the same thing. Any ideas in California?
Ed, can you repeat the question?
Okay, so why would you want to use a community instead of a website or an intranet, which is an internal website? Why would you want to use a community instead of something like that, a website?
Because it only goes to people in your community.
It's a lot faster.
Okay, faster. What did Victoria say?
Because it only goes to people in the community.
Okay, well, a community does that, but an intranet would be the same thing. It's a website, but it's just for inside of your company. Why would you want to use a community instead of those?
Because when you join a community, you've already got a bunch of followers right there.
Well, let's say it's your company.
Okay, you're right.
Okay, here's the simple answer. For a website or an intranet site, you have somebody called the webmaster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody heard that term?
Yes.
Okay. For a website, any information you want to put on there, generally there's one person who has one or two people that have the passwords. They're the people who add stuff or take stuff off the website. That's what Dell calls the choke point. If that person doesn't do it, it doesn't get done. A community is more like an ant colony. All of the members can add stuff to it.
Yeah.
And if everybody's told, okay, you do the HR stuff, and you do the competitor stuff, and you do this, then everybody else knows if they want to get information, they go to the community. It's there because everybody's adding to it. So the value of it gets to be very high because it can be added to, it can be updated all of the time, every day, all of the time.
And then anyone can join your community. It's public, but not.
Okay, but we're talking about private now.
Okay.
So we're just talking about private. In private, so to clarify for everyone, just in case you don't know, private communities you have to be invited to.
Okay.
You can't join a private community. You can be invited or you can ask to be invited, but you cannot join. A public community is one that you can join, and that's what Martin Shervington was talking about on his tutorial. Was it's a UK community for anybody from the UK can join. Well, you don't even have to be from the UK. You could just want to join. So, but right now I'm focused on work or family. That would be a private community, and it gives you tremendous power. You don't have to wonder, remember, do all of these other things. You can keep track of everything, and because everybody can add to it, it's current and it keeps growing, and therefore it becomes more valuable, right? So Nolan Bushnell says websites tend to be like lettuce. They wilt over time. Okay, if you don't keep it updated and current, nobody's going to want to use it, right? If you went to a website that hadn't been updated for 5 years, how valuable do you think that would be?
Not very valuable.
No. Right. Wouldn't have anything new. Now, another thing you can have on communities, public and private, is links to other social media. So what I would like everybody in California to do is to go to the search box at the top of the page in communities and type in the obligation US. Is that it, Rob? The public one?
Descriptive.
.us. Okay, so I'm going to put it on the board. We want everybody to go there. We want you to join.
I would join.
Are you in California?
What's your tagline?
Right there, the obligation. See that?
Yes.
I don't have
We were
nothing
talking
on mine.
about making the
Mine's
circles
blank.
and stuff.
Yeah.
We do that in communities, right?
Yeah, I'm blank.
And create communities.
You should already be in the
No,
community.
it's circles.
Everyone's already in it, probably.
It says add a descriptive tagline.
Can I ask one question?
How
On
do
the
you
public
get the
community, you know how people can join it? Can other communities join your community? Like,
No.
no, just a person.
Where do you
People.
type it in at?
Okay.
At the top of your page is a search.
Go to their.
All right, so that's what we want you to go to is the obligation.us.
Where's your home?
Go to that back arrow.
The one with the book.
That back arrow right there. Now,
Why don't I go with
go press see communities.
So you go here.
Search community. Right there. See where it says you put in the omnibox where it says search community, right?
That's what he just
Yeah,
said.
up here. Just at the top of your Google
Oh,
Plus.
it's right there.
Yeah, right there.
Can I
Search.
call it whatever I want?
No,
No,
you don't call
search
it.
the obligation. One
Oh,
word.
the obligation.
TH. You don't have to capitalize it. Don't recognize capitals, right?
Correct.
Okay, the obligation. One word, no space. There's two communities. One with the space and one without
One is
it.
public and one is private.
Oh, okay.
The one with the brain
No, you
is
just
private.
put a space back
Is
up.
What space?
our class.
Yeah.
The one with the book is the public community.
Okay. So
Okay.
you want to join the both. There it is, right there. See, remember this? Click on that.
So you want the one, so in California, you want the one that has a book that says remember this.
Boom, you joined. Now, search another community, put the obligation, put a space in between.
Okay, that is our public community.
He shows should be on it. The, and then space, obligation.
Okay, so how are you
There it
doing
is.
in California?
See, past it. No, backspace. The brain,
You already have it.
boom, you joined it. Now
Okay,
you-
how are we doing there, Crystal?
Majority of the students already have it, Ed.
Good, okay, so I'm going to click on
It's
it.
submitted.
You'll get, yeah, he'll get it, and he'll probably hook you up.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll let you
guarantee.
join. Now go back to home. That back arrow. Go to home. Click home. Now,
Okay,
boom.
good.
Now
So
you
yeah,
got. Now
so
scroll down.
whoever's not on there,
Scroll down
please
on your main bar, right there. Now you got the
Um,
obligation.
join.
See substance obligation. That's us.
Yes, everyone should have received the invitation weeks ago.
Yep.
Really? Yeah.
Weeks ago. Is it in the mail?
Go back to the home page. Click. Go to communities.
In our and I said,
So they are joining both communities, correct?
Good, yeah, so now if we go to the other community, the one that has the
Up
brain,
there at the top.
that's our private community.
Put the obligation.
That's the private community. We want you to, does it say ask to join or what does it say?
It says.
It says ask to join.
Okay, go ahead and click on that.
And they'll say you've been submitted. Once you do that, you got to submit them.
Okay,
But right, do the there it is on the bottom. Remember this. Click that on. Now, there it is. You got it. I don't know how it came off last time. Join community. Press join community. Boom. That's what you need to do. Okay. There you go. Now go back to your home page. It should be there.
Communities?
Yeah. And press invite to your friends too. Okay, go you press communities. Okay, move your thing out of the way. There it is. See, it's on your thing. Communities you have joined. The obligation.
Oh, okay.
Joke of the day.
What's the smile rate?
That's probably what.
Oh, that's
okay,
me. That's what I created.
so How are we doing in California? Where is everybody now?
I got my own private community.
Go here to communities. Click. Go down to communities. You're now. Scroll down. Communities. Ask to join that.
Community one.
Don't put cancel.
Okay, so far we've got 3 people showing up. Army, Maria, and Richard.
Yeah, I did it.
Richard, we're going to put the X.
Scroll down. See if you got Larson training. Ask to
I'm
join.
too old.
Okay, Norma. Norma is
Scroll
in.
down.
Community.
These are the requests.
Obligation US. I'm already. Now.
Okay, now just go here. Go to here. Go to communities. Here, Bill's going to join us now. Right here. Like this. The obligation. No,
I can join in all these things?
no. Go down here.
Yep. Okay, so I now have the community on the screen.
Very short.
All right, yeah.
Right here. The. Oh, hit me.
I'm not obligated.
So don't do nothing. Just type in the obligation. Space.
Okay,
US.
so is everybody joined?
Hold on, Bill has it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'll put search. Search right there.
Okay, so Ivy is now in.
I'm the brain one. I got the other
Hold
one.
on.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're fine.
There it is. Ask to join. Okay, he just asked to join.
Okay, so let's see. Now you can see on the screen.
Bill.
I
There he is. Bill McEwen. Oh,
So you see on the screen,
now look, Bill. there's
Bill
your
was
name
asked
up
to
there.
join. I'm going to say yes.
Oh, you just click no, Bill.
You click no. Oh.
There you go. Now go back. You just look at. Click here. The home.
Okay, while we're waiting for everybody,
Go to there. See, you're on there. Now go to communities.
this is the front page
These are your communities you have.
of the
right
community.
here. These are your two communities right there. For now, also go to
And then
LTC.
over here on the right,
Right here.
you
LTC.
probably can't see it on the screen, but here's some
No,
links
no,
that we have.
Click there.
Facebook,
Click right there.
Google Plus
Now put
community,
LT.
Twitter,
Oh, okay.
Thundercloud,
LV.
GoFundMe,
66.
our website,
LTC. LV.
the public community. Here's the calendar.
LV.
That one I can handle.
Okay.
LV. Google search for LTC. LV.
So this is the calendar for the community.
Here to change your settings. I'm going to leave that alone.
Just,
So back,
okay, hold on. You're already in there.
our YouTube page.
Why isn't he in there? Search me. Let's try there. LTC.
Now we'll look at all of the members.
L. Go ahead. LTC. LV. Search.
That must be me.
No, that's brain.
No, it's Christine.
Click on there.
Crowdfunding. That's a weird one.
Thundercloud.
I'm going to break my heart. Oh, yeah.
Right now. Our Twitter.
If he wants to join the Wolfpack one, what does he type in?
We're not doing that right now.
Okay.
So this is the community, and this is the people in the community. Okay, so let's see. Samuel Jones, you are in.
Trying to see which
Down.
students are in. This is You know how to talk about
Town project right there. Join that
this
configuration.
is public.
Boom.
Okay. In California, do you have any questions right now?
And that's community aware.
Hold on a second. You got to join that community downtown project.
No, Ed, we're fine.
Okay, good. So, what I'd like everybody to do today is go around and play around on that community, and you'll see there's a lot of things, a lot of information you can get, and there's a lot that you have the ability to add to. Okay, and again, the key thing about a community versus a website is everybody gets to add to the community. Everybody can post stuff to the community. It's not just the webmaster or somebody like that, the person who has the password. So that's tremendous value. So when you think about your ideal employment, your destiny or your calling position, and you're in your interview, you should feel very comfortable about how communities work, because probably wherever you go, they don't have any communities. They probably don't have any communities where you go. And every department at every company should have its own community.
Yeah.
The sales department should have a community. The HR department should have a community. The accounting people should have their own community. And it's just those people. But again, it's the central repository of information.
And then you can also make a one community for the whole company in two.
Right, and that's what we already said. So thank you for reviewing, Scott. That's
But also you got to remember, like if you join like dog lovers or cat lovers, it's going to come up on your main screen. So
okay, but we're not talking about that. So when you when you go to work, one of the values that you have, one of the values that we have at the school in terms of training students, is you need to know skills that other people don't know, especially if they have a lot of years of experience. So we have a new student here, Samuel, who's going to come up and introduce himself in about 5 minutes. You know, our thing is we take people who did something else, adults who did something else, and we try to get them, not try, but our job is to help you get a position that's an office position or a non-manual labor, non-shovel-ready position. That's our goal. The unfortunate thing is you are going to be competing with other people who've already done that. Okay? And if somebody has worked in an office in, let's say, an administrative assistant position for 10 years, you just learned how to do it, why will you get hired versus somebody who has more experience?
Newer training.
Because they don't know how to make community for the whole company.
Because you know something they don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, and how to present it.
And what is that thing, Victoria, that our students know that other people don't? Victoria. The cloud, right, Google Cloud. That's what we teach. That's this class here. But we can't really teach it. We can just introduce it and give people the ability to learn, and then your desire to become autodidactic, which is to teach yourself, and using the Navy SEALs learn one, do one, teach one approach, then you will have enough knowledge that you are competent in it, and you're confident enough that when you go to work somewhere, you can show them how to do it. But if you're not used to helping other people learn, you're not going to feel comfortable going to a company showing them. So one of the challenges, well, it's not really a challenge. One of the things that we face when students come here, when they talk to Sherry after their first day or in their first week, and it was, how was it? It was, well, man, it's really unorganized in there. It's really chaotic. It's hard for me to follow what's going on. Everybody's talking. Scott's talking most of the time, all the time, every day.
Anyway.
Okay? And so, but the thing is, that's more like the real world. Okay? That's a real world situation. And if you get comfortable to helping other people, then you're going to be you'll help other people. If you don't feel helping other people and somebody needs help, you're going to be saying to yourself, well, they might think I'm bossy, they might think I'm this, I don't really know them. They don't really know me. They might not want me to just go up and say, hey, let me help you, right? Your brain gets in the way, or in the TED Talk we had this morning, and thus what? And thus, conscience does make cowards of us all. Okay?
I was like,
I wrote it down for you.
Help me, people, help me. Throw me a bone.
What if you have no conscience?
That's good. You can be. What is Sherlock? He's very proud. Sherlock. Who watches Sherlock? Ed? How does he describe himself?
He's a
What is he? Social?
A high-functioning sociopath.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, bang. Right?
High functioning social.
Okay, so we can only introduce things and then provide the tools. So we have these Google Hangouts everybody can go back to on the playlist. We have the tutorials that you can go back to. But this is one of these things that you have to use it or you're going to lose it. So what we want everybody to do in your time at home or here is practice and create a community for yourself or your hobby or your church. If you have some women at church or some guys at church that you like doing things with, just create a community and invite them to it via email. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to join. And then once they join, they're going to contribute. And then, huh?
Maybe you don't have the emails.
You ask them.
You ask him.
I got not one.
That would be great. Like
Huh?
I don't have not one of my family members' email.
Have you asked them for their email?
No.
Okay. So I can't help you. I can't help you at that level.
They can help you.
Or would you like Carla to ask them for you?
How do I drag it?
But that's a great idea. Like I can go to Salvation Army, the head church, and say, hey, Lieutenant Larry, you want to start a community? So, and then maybe just...
Well, no, but see, when you put it, okay, so I'm glad you brought that up, Scott, because when you put it that way, it sounds like you're asking him to do the
Yeah,
work.
say, I'm going to start you a community.
Just start it and invite him.
Yeah, there you go. And
So to
then,
do that, so you get
and then I'm going to put a picture on the cover.
Okay, so now,
That's a good
are
idea.
there any questions in California?
Go ahead. Can you invite people that are not in Google?
You're not in Google?
Yeah.
Can you invite people who do not have a Gmail account?
Okay, so that is a good question. In the past, the answer was no. Today, there are some limitations, but when you try to invite them, if you can't, it's going to immediately come up and say they have to be in Google+. I don't think you have to have a Gmail account to be in Google+. That's just the easiest way to do it. Now, when you get an account at the school, your Gmail account, it automatically feeds into all of the Google apps. I believe you can be on Google+ and not have a Gmail account. But when you go to invite someone, it asks you for their email.
Well, I just got that smartphone, and I went on
Okay,
my
but we're
apps
not talking.
and
Wait.
didn't do
We'll
it
talk
like
about that later. So, what I remember seeing
It
is
doesn't work.
you can send an invitation to people. You can invite somebody. If they're not a member, they can join Google+. Okay? So try inviting them. What's the next question? And Samuel, why don't you come up here? Next question.
Oh, Ed, can you repeat the name of the guest tomorrow, the guest speaker?
His name is Sterling McPherson.
He's not Scottish.
He's from southern Scotland.
Nice. Little bit of road.
Sterling McPherson.
That sounds a little Irish.
I wouldn't call him a Mick, though.
Well, tomorrow you might ask him, where did he get the name McPherson?
Yeah.
He'll probably tell you it was the slave owner.
There you go. Very good.
Okay? Well, that's an easy way to get a name. A lot of Italian people have names because when they landed at Ellis Island,
Very true.
They said, well, we're not going to call you that.
Yeah.
Why?
This is what we like.
Okay. So, what other questions in California? Okay, I'm going to introduce Samuel. Come on, oops.
Now I can't get nothing in the vet community.
So step right up, Samuel, and why don't you tell everybody where you're from?
Okay, my name is Samuel, and I am from San Bernardino, California.
Oh, good.
San Bernardino.
How long have you been here?
I've been here almost 2 years, close to 2 years.
Okay, and what part of San Bernardino?
San Bernardino County.
Okay, but what part exactly?
Riverside?
Um,
City of San Bernardino?
City of San Bernardino.
Edgemont.
Oh.
Baseline.
Edgemont.
It's only the largest county in the United States. I run the long way.
Yeah.
It's only the largest county in the United States.
All around Fontana,
Geographically.
Rialto.
Yeah, geographically.
Okay, good.
Azusa? Azusa? No, not that far. That's the mall. I used to go there all
Okay.
the time.
How about
Cucamonga.
Camp Grayskull? Does that have any meaning to you?
Yeah, no, I'm
Fall Street, Mike.
it's coming, yeah.
Okay, all right. So this is Samuel. Samuel just started, and did you want to be in the medical class?
Medical billing.
Medical claims processing. Okay, so Crystal will be your instructor when that part comes along.
Okay.
Okay, Crystal?
Yes, nice to meet you, Samuel.
Absolutely, you too.
Okay, everybody, thank you for today. Tomorrow we'll see you for our talk with Sterling McPherson. Should be quite entertaining and enlightening. Don't hesitate to ask him questions about boxing or Don King or Mayweather or anybody. And he's going to start doing business with, what's his name? Sugar Ray Leonard is another friend of his. Okay? Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Oh, yeah. Tell me, it's added to my service.
Spill your